Suspended Secretary General of South Africa's governing party in appeal court. COVID vaccinations fell by 80% after Taliban takeover. And China introduces political ideology of the president into national curriculum. Details of these and more after this break. I am Omoye Ogbede. The suspended Secretary General of South Africa's governing party has taken his appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal. Ace Magashule, a former top official of the African National Congress, was removed in May after being charged with corruption. He lost his bid to have his suspension overturned by the High Court in July. It ruled that the ANC was right to suspend him for failing to follow the party's rule, requiring him to step aside on being charged with a criminal case. But Magashule now wants the Supreme Court of Appeal to overturn the decision. In March, he was given a 30-day ultimatum to step down after being charged with embezzling public funds while he was premier of the Free State province. He denied the charges and refused to resign voluntarily, which resulted in the ANC suspending him. A young Guinean woman who was the first confirmed case of Ebola in Ivory Coast since 1994 has recovered from the disease. The Ivorian Health Ministry said the 18-year-old tested positive for the Ebola virus in Ivory Coast after arriving there 2 weeks earlier. She had traveled to Abidjan by bus from Labé in northern Guinea, a journey of about 1,500 kilometers that traverses a densely forested region where Ebola epidemics broke out earlier this year and 2013 to 2016. Ivory Coast is the third African country this year to have been affected by the Ebola virus after the Democratic Republic of Congo and Guinea. And COVID-19 vaccinations fell by 80% in Afghanistan in the first week after the Taliban took over the country. The United Nations Children's Agency is warning that nearly 2 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine delivered to Afghanistan, about half of the total so far, expire in November. In the week beginning 15th of August, 30,500 people have been vaccinated in 23 of 34 provinces, according to figures provided by UNICEF, whereas the previous week 134,600 people were inoculated in 30 provinces. Data from the World Health Organization shows that only 1.2 million doses had been administered as of 20th of August in Afghanistan, which has a population of 14 million. Banks in Afghan capital have reopened for the first time since the Taliban takeover on 15th of August, but many people are still having difficulty accessing their savings. Kabul Bank has been serving customers, but it is not issuing large sums of money. And although other banks are open, they say they have not been able to allow withdrawals due to lack of cash from Afghanistan's central bank. The closure of the banks has compounded other issues in Kabul. In recent weeks, the price of basic foods has risen. Meanwhile, money transfer company Western Union which allows people to receive money from abroad, suspended its services a week ago. And the President of the United States, Joe Biden, says the country is on pace to meet a 31st August deadline for evacuations, despite previous calls from allies for an extension. At least 70,700 people have been airlifted from Kabul, which fell to the Taliban 9 days ago. The militants have opposed any extension to the evacuation deadline. President Biden said the Taliban had been taking steps to help get people out. He added that the international community would judge the Taliban by their actions. Biden said the airlift had to come to an end soon because of an increase in threats from the Islamic State group in Afghanistan. And China will introduce the political ideology of the Chinese president in its national curriculum. The Ministry of Education in the new guidelines said the Xi Jinping thought will help teenagers establish Marxist beliefs. The ideology will be integrated from primary school up to university. This is the latest effort by Xi to consolidate the ruling Chinese Communist Party's role in different areas of society. In a statement, the ministry said it aimed to cultivate the builders and successors of socialism, which with an all-round moral, intellectual, physical, and aesthetic grounding. And German police have begun an attempted murder investigation after 6 people were taken to hospital in a case of suspected poisoning at Darmstadt Technical University. They had all had food or drink from a small kitchen on the university's campus. Police believe a harmful substance was added to milk cartons or water. Investigators have not revealed what type of poison was found, but say they know what it is. The chemical involved is described as having a noticeably pungent smell. One 30-year-old student was taken to hospital in a critical condition, but the university said everyone affected was feeling better and the last 2 remaining patients will be leaving hospital soonest. Police said at least 7 people had displayed symptoms of poisoning and 6 needed hospital treatment after the tea area in building L201 was apparently targeted over the weekend. Investigators warned students who had consumed anything in the building to seek medical treatment if they feel unwell or their extremities show a bluish discoloration. No motive has yet been established as no suspects have been traced. And that's KFM's news around the world. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Suspended Secretary General of South Africa's governing party in appeal court. COVID vaccinations fell by 80% after Taliban takeover. And China introduces political ideology of President Xi Jinping into national curriculum. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also on YouTube at KFM Nigeria. KFM's news around the world was produced by Gloria Vitalis. I am Omoyo Ogbaide saying thanks for listening. Good afternoon.